Sweet spring fruits in Australia. Welcome back to Australia Tales. Spring has officially arrived in Australia, and that means the farms, markets, and even supermarket shelves are bursting with colors, scents, and the sweetness of seasonal fruits. If you're living here or planning to visit during spring, trust me, this is one of the most delicious times of the year. In today's video, let's take a sweet little journey through Australia's favorite spring fruits. From strawberries and blueberries to the juicy cherries that everyone waits for all year long. And before we start, if you love learning about life in Australia, from food and farming to travel and lifestyle, make sure to subscribe. I share new tips and stories every week that can save you time, money, and maybe even make you hungry. Alright, let's dive into the fruity side of Australian spring. When spring begins in Australia, around September to November, the cool winter winds slowly turn warm. Flowers start blooming and fruit farms come alive. This is when some of Australia's most popular fruits begin their season, especially berries and cherries. Imagine walking into a farmer's market in October, rows of fresh strawberries glowing red, blueberries packed in tiny boxes, and people lining up for tasting samples. It's like nature decided to host a dessert buffet. Strawberries, the star of early spring. Let's start with the fruit that absolutely dominates the beginning of spring, the strawberry. Strawberries start their season around August and peak in October. Queensland and Western Australia are the biggest producers, especially places like Caboolture and the Sunshine Coast. If you've ever bought a pack of strawberries at Woolworths or Coles in spring, there's a high chance it came from there. They're not only perfect for desserts, but also the easiest fruit to enjoy fresh, in smoothies, or just dipped in melted chocolate on a weekend afternoon. Plus, they're packed with vitamin C, so technically it's healthy indulgence, right? If you want a little adventure, you can even go strawberry picking yourself. Many farms in Victoria and New South Wales open their gates for visitors. You pay a small entry fee, pick your own basket full of strawberries, and eat a few while pretending you're not. Blueberries, the tiny powerhouses. Next up, the mighty blueberry. They might look small, but they're full of antioxidants, and they hit their peak from September through December. Blueberries grow in many regions across Australia, especially in New South Wales, Tasmania, and northern Victoria. In springtime, you'll start seeing beautiful pick-your-own blueberry farms reopening after winter. A fun fact, some people actually freeze blueberries and use them as natural ice cubes for lemonade. Blueberries are also very friendly to bakers, muffins, pancakes, cheesecakes, you name it. They make everything look Instagram-worthy. Cherries, the jewel of late spring. Now, let's talk about the showstopper of Australian spring, cherries. Cherries are basically the celebrities of the fruit world here. They start appearing in late November, just as spring is ending and summer begins. Regions like Young in New South Wales, Adelaide Hills, Victoria's Yarra Valley, and Tasmania are famous for cherry orchards. A fun Australian tradition is cherry picking trips. People travel hours just to visit farms, fill buckets, and of course eat half of them on the way. Cherries are also the stars of Christmas desserts. Even though Christmas falls in summer here, the cherry season fits perfectly into that celebration period. The best part? The moment you bite into a ripe cherry, that sweet and slightly tangy burst tells you, yep, summer is almost here. Other fruits to look for apart from the big three, strawberries, blueberries, and cherries, there are plenty of other fruits that start showing up in Australian spring. Peaches and nectarines. They start early around late October. Perfect for making smoothies or just eating fresh. Apricots. Their short season begins in November and they're lovely for homemade jams. Mulberries. You'll see them around parks or farms, soft, dark, and super sweet. Pineapples and mangoes. These tropical fruits begin arriving from northern Australia as the temperature rises. And if you're lucky enough to have your own garden, this is also when citrus trees like lemons and mandarins start blooming again with flowers that smell incredible. Why spring fruits taste so good here? Australia's spring climate gives the perfect mix of sunshine and cool air. That balance helps fruits develop their bright colors, juicy textures, and intense natural sweetness. Farmers also use sustainable growing methods, and since spring brings bees and blossoms, pollination is at its peak, meaning better, fuller fruit crops. So if you notice your strawberries tasting sweeter in spring, that's nature doing its best work. Where to buy or pick them? You can find fresh spring fruits almost everywhere. from supermarkets like Woolworths and Kohl's to weekend farmers markets in every city. But if you really want the full experience, go fruit picking. Some of the most popular places are Rayner's Orchard in Victoria, Huntley Berry Farm in New South Wales, Sorrel Fruit Farm in Tasmania, Bierenberg Farm near Adelaide. It's not just about picking fruit, it's about spending a beautiful spring day outdoors, taking photos and tasting something you picked with your own hands. So whether you're living in Australia or just visiting, don't miss the chance to taste spring straight from the farm. Grab a basket of strawberries, snack on blueberries, and if you're lucky, find some early cherries before summer kicks in. It's more than just fruit, it's a reminder that spring in Australia is about freshness, color, and the joy of simple things. If you've already tried any of these fruits, tell me in the comments which one's your favorite. And if you're planning to go fruit picking this spring, take some pictures and tag me, I'd love to see them. Before you go, if you're planning to move to Australia or already live here, make sure to subscribe. I share new tips every week that can save you time, money, and stress. Thanks for watching and enjoy the sweetness of Australian spring.